So now that I showed you all the individual steps, how I mix them, how I make them, there's one last thing I want to mention, which is referencing your music, your mix to other music. For me, it's an important part of the process. When I mix a track, I always first look for a reference track. The reference track should be as good produced as possible. You should get them in the best quality, buy it from the source, buy it from the artist, always buy it in WAV format. Then what you also can do is, of course, you should look for a reference track which have a similar BPM range, a similar keynote. If your track is in G, also look for a track in G, because the bass frequencies will have the same response in your room, or a similar response. And then what I always do, I always put the reference track in my project file, like I have it here. And then through the mixing process, I always A/B the well-produced reference track with my track. And important is always A/B at the exact same volume. So you should always compare it at the same volume, and then simply always check, how is the bass line sounding, how is my bass line sounding, how loud are the drums in the reference track, how loud are my drums. You can always do this process on different speakers. And I think if you put enough effort into it, you will simply have a very objective way to get your levels right, compare on different volumes while you are listening very loud and while you are listening quiet, see how the reference track compares, see how your track compares. And always keep in mind, sometime in the beginning it can be frustrating to reference with a very well-produced track, because your track will not sound as good as the reference one. But I still think it's good to have a map in your head, at least for the balance of the volume of the elements. You can use the reference track just perfectly. And also keep in mind, everything is simply a learning process. So the best way how you get good at mixing is simply by doing it over and over again. Simply just don't get too perfectionist with yourself. Simply always finish stuff and learn from it, learn from mistakes. Better finish the tracks instead of not finishing them and not learn from them. And yeah, just go over and over again, do it. And I think after, let's say, half a year, 1 year, you will have a pretty nice result. And yeah, I hope this helps. That's everything from my side. I hope you enjoyed this part of the Xenon course. Be sure to always check it out, follow it, learn from it, and take out what works for you. And I wish you much success with your music. Peace.